Why do you not believe that Boris Johnson is really sorry? And why have you not accepted his apology today?
I just find Edwina's position is so cynical. Basically what she's saying, it doesn't matter whether we accept it or not. The fact principle no longer matters. The fact is the party certainly, I'm quite sure, doesn't want to get rid of him. They're in a way as bad as him. They've got the leader they chose. No, his apology is not worth the paper it's written on. Boris is incapable of telling the truth. In fact, I will not call him Boris, Mr. Johnson. We treat him as a friend. This is appalling. He's a bad friend. He's a destructive man. He's run an extremely destructive, unnecessary COVID policy. That incident, in fact, had we known, revealed then at that time. Since then, we've had 20 months of his lies. We've had 20 months of terrible mental health damage done to children with unnecessary lockdowns, being taken out of school. I'm astonished that in your discussion, in your panel, your great panel, not one of them mentioned children, not one of them mentioned the old people who've died, not of COVID in care homes, but of
I mentioned it, though.
Policy.
I mentioned it, though.
You did, Dan. You did, Dan. But basically, if the Conservative Party had any conservatism and decency in it at all, they would have called out Boris months and months ago. We at the Conservative Woman, now TCW, defending freedom, we regard him as feckless, entitled, hypocritical, destructive, a man without a moral compass. What are we doing in this country, allowing ourselves to have a prime minister like that? If the Conservative Party can do no better, they don't deserve to be in power. And if the only reason Labour can call him out because they want us all to be Stalinists in the way we treat the country and micromanage people's life, they don't need to be there either. It's about time we had a real and honest conversation about what's happened to this country in the last 20 months, because it's shocking. £400 billion debt, our kids' futures wrecked.
Edwina, how do you respond to that? Because there are a lot of people who say actually that the Conservative Party is no longer conservative.
In the following way, if I may, Dan. The first is I've never heard of the Conservative Women website. I've been a member of the Conservative Party for the best part of 60 years, and I'm still involved as
it's a good website. You should check it out.
Association. So I'm not going to take any lessons, and I say this with a smile on my face, about what conservatism is from somebody running something I've never heard of and that didn't exist when I was a member of Parliament, for goodness sake. Now, look, you're hostile, I understand, Cathy, to the way that the government has conducted itself and advised us to do it during the pandemic. If we had a Labour government, which is the only alternative to Boris, we'd have been in lockdown by now since Christmas. So they would have been far worse. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish. You're going to end up with, if you're not careful, a much weakened Conservative Party, far fewer members on the backbenches who are Conservative, and you'll end up with a Labour government. And that would be far worse for this country at every single level.